Hey, Brian, come. Hey, Brian, in here.
We are live.
Okay, good morning, everyone. This is the Mount Vernon Real Estate Committee meeting. It is October 31st, 2029. The time now is 9:49 AM. I'll ask for the roll call
Controller Martin.
here.
Here. City Council President Bloom. Here.
Right. Approval of the August 21 minutes. And they actually end the September 26 minutes. We can take those together, that's fine.
All right, I move to take this item as a block vote.
I second.
Roll call.
Controller Martin.
Aye.
Assessor Van Hook.
Aye.
City Council President Brown.
Aye.
All right, now, approval of the minutes themselves.
I move to approve the minutes of August 2025 and September 2025.
I second.
Roll call.
Controller Martin.
Aye.
Assessor Van Hook. Aye. City Council President Brown.
Aye.
All right, so then we have correspondence.
Correspondence for this period, Sharp Home Design, interest in 234 East Fifth. The approved bidder wanted to know what the next step in the process was and provided his attorney's information. George Ibarra, successful bidder of 224 North Seventh Avenue. So wanted to know what the next steps in the process was, and he also provided his attorney's information. Anthony Golini.
That's okay. Thanks.
Of Meadowman Restoration has interest in 20 Beechwood Avenue. Meeting information was provided and he's here. SB Management has interest in, he was a successful bidder in 16 Glen. Also wanted to know what the next step in the process was. He did not provide his attorney's information to me. Andrea DeRizio emailed requesting to speak with the committee members. The October 31st meeting information is provided, and she was encouraged to attend. And that is it.
All right, thank you. We are now at the public comment period. All right. We'll open it up for public comment. Minutes so to present. We're starting in-house first.
Yeah.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, good morning.
Morning.
All right, so we'll give you opportunity, if you wish, if you came to say something. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Good morning, Real Estate Committee. Thank you for the opportunity to participate in the Mount Vernon property auction and for selecting me for the properties at 328 South First Avenue and 331 South Second Avenue.
Before you get into your comments, can you say your name for the record?
Sure. My name is Valen Mitchin, and I'm one of the bidders or winning bidders. Thank you again for opportunity and for selecting me as a winning bidder for 328 South First Avenue and 334 South Second Avenue. I appreciate Mount Vernon's government continued efforts to revitalize our city and support responsible local development. When I submitted my bids in June 2023, both properties appeared to be in significantly better condition than they are today. After revisiting the sites recently and conducting a thorough evaluation, it has become clear that both structures have deteriorated extensively. At this point, the properties seem like they may be no longer viable for renovation and may require complete demolition and new construction. In addition, potential remediation for asbestos and other environmental concerns, as well as cleanup costs, must be factored into overall investment. Given these conditions and current market data, I respectfully request that real estate committee reconsider the purchase prices based on today's realities. 328 South First Avenue. My original bid is 138. I'm not sure why it shows 315 we applied. I request to purchase it at 70,000. And 31st Second Avenue, winning bid is 150. I request it to be 35,000. I'm open to visit these sites with one of your representatives so we can see it ourselves, the condition. But also I'm happy and open to real estate companies' counter or feedback regarding my updated or offers. My attorney is in touch with Joyce, or I emailed Joyce my attorney's information, so I'm ready to proceed. And thank you so much.
Thank you. So,
Hi, good morning. My name is Kayvon Reed. Thank you, Real Estate Committee, for taking the time out. I would like to inquire on certain city-owned lots that would be available moving up in the near future. The address is listed as 1 Mount Vernon Avenue, 6 Mount Vernon Avenue, 17 North 6th Avenue, 245 South 4th Avenue, 230 3rd Avenue, 141st 3rd Street, 206 4th Avenue, 207 4th Avenue, 209 3rd Avenue, and 137 South 4th Avenue. All of these locations are empty lots that are owned by the city. I would just like to inquire when they would be up for bidding.
thank you. Yes, sir. Go ahead. You have anything?
Yeah. Morning, my name is Andrea Gerizio. My inquiry was if any of the bidders that won fall through, like how will the other parties, because there were some properties that we bid on that we didn't receive, it went to someone else. So we want to know, is there a time frame they need to respond by? And then if so, we become eligible. My other question was the auction properties. How did we follow up on the auction properties? And then there were some members that are here that didn't introduce themselves. I assume that you're Brian Johnson. Morning.
Corporation Counsel, good morning to you as well.
Thank you. So corporation as in Mount Vernon, or you have a corporation?
Mount Vernon.
City Attorney.
City Attorney.
Because when you.
The City of Mount Vernon is a corporation. People don't look at it like that. And so the title is Corporation Counsel, layman's term, City Attorney.
Okay. And your name, ma'am?
I'm Joyce Brown. Good morning.
Good morning.
Of council to the city of Mount Vernon.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Anthony Guglielmo from Meadowman Restoration. I've been in Mount Vernon for over 20 years doing business, and I have had interest in 20 Beechwood Avenue. I'm currently residing at 2254 East 3rd Street, and I'm looking for a place for my own, which that fits the needs. And my questions are, what's the process of bidding? Are there site visits and so forth? So those.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, good morning. My name is Jeanette Garcia. I'm the successful bidder of 106 Hillside Avenue. I also put a bid for 328 South First Avenue. Now that it's been, that successful bidder is considering removing his bid. I want to know, if it's gonna go for option
Sorry,
A.
what was the second one?
328 South
320, yeah. And I would like to know also, the status for 146 South 13th Avenue. We also, I also put a bid on that one and it was not considered in the previous meeting. Oh, last time.
I'm sorry. What was the last?
46.
146 South 13th Avenue.
Okay. Sir, are you?
Yes, my name is Dwayne Shaw, Jeanette Garcia's partner. Good morning, thanks for having us here. One, Brian.
Good morning.
Whatever. Yeah, we were inquiring to know, we purchased a lot of foreclosed properties. I believe, one of the properties in question here, if the party is not interested, is your process to go to the next highest bidder if it's not considered anymore by the previous bidder, instead of going directly back to the open market. And again, on South 146 South 13, the last meeting that was here, we watched the video and what appeared to be, there was a discrepancy in our offer. And we confirmed what that was, so we'd like to know if we won the bid.
Discrepancy for which property? For one place?
Yeah, there was a discrepancy in what we offered. Because I believe it was a lower amount than we originally.
Right.
but-
Thank you. Is anybody else online? Our tech guy alone.
They have the ability to unmute themselves if they wanted to speak.
Or if there's anybody online that has anything that they wish to say, you can unmute yourself. Everybody's muted, so I guess not. Going once. Going twice. And we'll close this period of public comment.
Hello.
Hello.
You can hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hello, how you doing? My name is Javon Asquith. I'm also interested in 146 South 13. And I also had put in a bid for 328 South First as well. I know that somebody had won the bid, but since he's reconsidered, my question is, what's the next process as far as what he said he wants to bid it for a lower rate? So I wanted to know if you guys gonna reconsider and look for the next highest bidder.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Yes. Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes.
We can-
Hey, hi. Good morning, committee. This is Jorge Ibarra. I'm a successful bidder for 224 North 7th Avenue, and I'm just here to follow up on the next step.
Okay, thank you.
We reached out to his lawyer twice.
Well,
Good morning, everyone.
Yes,
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to attend the meeting today. I'm actually one of the substantial real estate developers of Mount Vernon for the past 6 to 7 years. I had bid on 3 properties since 4 years ago, and I still have not heard any reply about them after my bid has been submitted.
you happen to know what properties those were?
Yes, I have the addresses of them, so I can inform you about the ones I have made the bid on.
So we suggest that you send a communication to Ms. Anderson. And she will reply to you.
She actually replied to the email, but I still don't know if my offers have been rejected or accepted.
Okay, well, okay. I'll answer. Let me start. I guess if that's no one else.
Thank you. And I have another question. How can I access to the other properties that are owned and being sold by the city of Mount Vernon?
No problem. Thank you. All right, so I'll close the public comment period. And I guess I'll start reverse, I guess. So again, if you have not received any communication that you have actually been the successful bidder, then it's not been accepted at this point. We have been communicating with everyone that we have had bids for. And we've been going back and forth over the period to make sure that we had updated information. So again, if Ms. Anderson has communicated back to any bidder about that, then the responsibility really is on the bidder to be able to follow through with what it is that we're asking for. if there needs to be any more clarity on that, then I would suggest that you reach out to, Ms. Anderson once again, and she will give you kind of the update on that. So let me try to answer all of the questions. They all seem to be similar, in that.
Right.
One, so.
Okay. As a
I'm sorry, sir.
okay.
The public comment period is over. You're gonna have to have you mute yourself, okay? So, so now let me try to give clarity so we understand where we are with all of the process. So we've completed the first phase of this process, which phase one was that there were selected properties in which we then had put before the body because of several reasons that made them priority. And those are the ones in which we discussed at the last meeting, in which then we went through all of the bids and gave them to the highest bidders on those. We made decisions on those rather. Forwarded that off to the city council because the city council then makes the decision to actually convey the title. They had their meeting and they did so, and they acted upon it, as well as the Board of Estimates also acted upon those properties as well, based upon, again, the bids that had been submitted. So now the Corporation Council and our council for this committee have been now moving the process forward, reaching out to the successful bidders and or their representatives, move into contract phase. Okay. That's the next step of this process, right? Is actually executing the contracts for that. So if you haven't heard from our Corporation Council, one, he's here today. Two, and also Joyce is here today. And if you have, then just continue to communicate with the Corporation Council's office on the steps moving forward to complete the sale transaction. Okay. If a successful bidder then decides that they want to have the means to it, they're no longer interested in the process for it. I believe that we said that we were going to then look at the next highest bidder for those properties. Is that correct?
Yes.
I just want to make sure. So the next highest bidder for those properties that we had at the meeting, at the September meeting. We're not going back and opening it up. Nor are we going to allow people to make adjustments to that who are in the property. Okay. All right. So that's the next step for that. Okay. So as it pertains to properties that were not on the list, we had also phased in. There were some properties that actually were part of the first phase that we had some discrepancies and questions about. Right. One of them is like the 146 South 13th Avenue, I think, right? So we will then have a discussion about those because we need to get some things clarified on them. And then the committee will make a decision on those properties. One way or the other, whether that means that those properties we're now going to review the bids that we have that are in, or we're actually going to throw that back into the pool for auction, right? That's what will happen with any of those that were a part of phase one. All the other properties that were not a part of phase one are the ones in which we said then we'll go out to auction. Just to make sure, correct me if I'm wrong.
I'm not 100% confident with that one.
With the last, okay. I thought we have some others that we wanted to put bids on.
No, so we were clarifying those, the properties, and then we were moving some over. There was some also with legal counsel that was being worked out.
Well, those are different issues. The ones that are part of phase one, that were listed as part of phase one, are the ones in which we need to get all the clarification done for, correct? Yes. And then we would then look at the bids and make a decision on them, right?
Yes.
Okay. Then there are some that have issues, period, that were out there. We identified those. For example, 20 Beechwood was one that had some major issues because there's several reasons. There's a lot of things going on there, right? So, and I don't know what other ones was. Oh, 140, 140 something or something East Third Street. That one, right? There was only like 2 or 3 of them, right? In which we had to get some stuff clarified. So there may be some properties that actually have some real challenges that may not make it a part of the next phase of the auction process until we can get those things cleared up. Once we get those things cleared up, then a decision will be made on how to dispose of them. And it's either one or 2 ways. It's either one that it has to go through the actual bidding process like we have here, or like we had here before, or 2, it has to go out just to a straight auction, right? The charter is very clear about what we can or cannot do, right? So, hold on, again, that, anything that I missed for me anyway. I'll let the rest of the committee, if you have anything. No?
No, thank you.
All right, so I'll let you have one last clarifying question. Yes, sir.
One more clarification, properties that were part of phase 1 but did not sell. You said you're gonna put back in auction or?
Yes, those are going back and on, not part of phase 1. Anything that was part of phase 1, it made a decision. The phase 1 are the properties that we listed, not everything that went out, everything that got to be.
Some properties in phase 1 that did not sell, but they're there.
No, if we did not consider them at all, those are not part of phase 1. So anything outside of that is going to, we said we're going to look at those those then were going to be considered for just a straight auction, other than the ones that had a problem, other than the ones that had some challenges. Okay, all right, so this is not supposed to be back and forth though. That's why I wanted everybody to kind of get it, so unless there was something, burning. But I think, I just wanted to make sure I answered all of the questions that were put before us.
I beg to ask one more quickly. So he who reneges on their position, it would go right back to the original bidders as the next up.
That are part of phase 1, correct?
Gotcha.
That's what we had said we was going to do. Correct.
So there are no new bids on any properties if the successful bidder has decided that they no longer want to move forward. We're not considering any new offers or anything like that. It'll be based on the offer that was submitted previously, and we will just be moving down the list. And it's not a guarantee. If there was an offer put through, if you all watched the last meeting, if the offer is too low, that will also mean that that's not viable for us, and that may end up in auction. So it doesn't mean just because you have a bid in that you'll be next in line. So I just want to clarify that part.
Very clear.
Correct, right. Just make sure we make it clear, right? So we'll go to the next highest bidder. However, if the next highest bidder is not viable from the standpoint of our evaluation based upon what we need, because again, remember, these properties were taken because they did not pay their taxes. Okay, just want to make sure that everybody understands what's happening here, why the city is part of the reason why the city is in distress. Because these were taken because people are not paying their taxes on them, right? And since that time, basically the city itself has been paying the taxes on them. The city has been paying the taxes primarily to the school district and to the county on those, as well as upkeep on those properties, right? So what we're looking at too is what was actually the expenses that 1, we took property for, and 2, that we had to expend on that, right? To that. And trying to, and again, we have a responsibility by law to get market rate on. That's close to market rate as possible, unless there's some anomalies, right? Or reasons why it's like for example, we had one that was on Fulton Avenue that we sold that did not necessarily sell at market rate, but it was a danger at this point, and it needed to be torn down. So in that case, we got to make a decision on it. Okay. All right. Yes, ma'am. I'm gonna give you one last question.
Time frame. Are you giving them a time frame to come through with the first bidder? Like, do they have 30 days, from the September 26th date?
Yeah, no, there's a time is set actually, because it says that, I forget the time, it 15 days? It's 15 days, but again, right now what we're doing is, again, it's 15 days for them to necessarily respond to it and make sure they have whatever they need to get in place, but we're doing the contract.
With acceptable extensions, correct?
Well,
It will have to be, right?
It would have to be
Because
because-
realistically,
Yeah.
if you're getting a mortgage, you're not gonna close it in 15 days. We know that.
Oh,
All right, but as long as they're in communication with the
Right.
law department, communicating with the law
But they
department.
agreed to the 50 days.
Right. So, okay, all right, okay. All right,
Thank you.
said that. Moving on.
One clarification for my bids, I'm not saying I'm not interested. I'm saying that, this is my updated bid, so I'd love for real estate community to come back to me.
No,
So
we understand.
Yeah, I understand. And I think it's important to note, at our last meeting, when we gave a recommendation to council, we gave a recommendation based on a price point. So our motion included, we recommend selling to this bidder based at this price, right? So what would happen now, if you no longer were moving forward at the price point that you submitted, we would have to recall that recommendation and have to go through the process. So there's no negotiation of the price right now. All properties are sold as is.
So what's next based on what my.
Based upon what it is that, again, we received it today,
Right.
right?
And vote.
We'll have discussion about it and we'll notify you on it, but I'm just gonna be real honest. There is no negotiation on this, right? So now at this point, we gotta look at what you have here and we gotta look at what we already have as for the next bidder on this property and move forward, period, right? So there's gonna just be a decision that's gonna come to you.
We don't want to.
All right. Having said that, I'm gonna have to end this now, okay? We have to do that later on, okay? If need be. All right, so, October 8th, city council approval, as we already stated already, that all of those properties actually did. City council actually did approve all of our recommendations. Of course, we would have that. Now in the old business. Following up on the properties that were a part of phase 1. 20 Beechwood. I know.
I feel like every time. It happens to the
Stop it.
No, the witness phone.
Okay, so while we're waiting on that, what was your question?
I'm just gonna say, if they have 15 days to respond by September 26th, then you guys should know, okay, it's going to the next bidder. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
at this point, no, everybody has responded, but they're working with the city, with the corporation council. The issue that we're talking about time frame is the matter that we gotta get the contracts together.
Oh, everybody has.
That's the issue.
Okay.
Right, right. We don't have anybody that has not responded, besides the. Oh, you do? Yeah. Who has not responded?
Mr. Barrow is going.
Mr. Barry's lawyer.
But he
That's
just,
why I
and
said-
he was just on here, okay. All right, Mr. O'Bara, again, your attorney has not responded. So you need your attorney to respond today.
I sent him an email a few days ago,
Okay.
and I've also called his office.
What property was that?
Mr. O'Bara,
Yeah, he just.
yes, you hear us? Your attorney has not responded. You need to get your attorney to respond to the corporation council.
I will have him respond as soon as possible and
All right.
I'll make the call right now.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
All
But I've
right.
been receiving emails with Ms. Anderson and we've been following up with her as well, but I'll get in touch with my lawyer.
I hear you, but it's not Ms. Anderson any longer. It's the corporation council, Joyce Brown. So make sure you do that, okay?
I will do that right now. Thank you.
Thank you. Who else?
Donnie McTaggart, which is 467 East Fifth Street.
Okay.
6785.
And the last,
So then we sent him communication
I sent him an email, yeah.
and okay.
So what I basically did was I reached out to all of the successful bidders to get their attorney's information so that we could get the contract out to them as soon as possible. And I spoke to Mr. Nietzsche, he said he was gonna come in. I sent out the contract for Sheldon Sharp. Their attorney responded. Ms. Garcia just gave me her attorney's information, so I will send that out to them. So the last one was of Mr. Black, 16 Glen. I have not heard back from him regarding his attorney's information.
That's SB.
Okay.
Okay, so SB management, your attorney needs to respond. And we need them to respond, quickly, actually, by Monday. Otherwise, we're gonna move on. Okay?
One discrepancy or type, if I can say,
Well, I'm sorry.
No.
You can't, we can't have the back and forth.
Yeah, Danielle. fine, fine.
We can't.
We're doing a lot of the
If we're
public.
around and talking.
the
Right, if you
public
got something
comment period
separate, then we
already.
need to talk to it, right? All right. Okay, so Beechwood, again, that is still property that we is.
Beechwood is going to be taken off the table.
Because
And Beechwood will go back to the MREM process. Going back that far to the MREM process. I'll explain to you that.
I figured that.
Right. Okay. So, just so quick clarity. So, all of these properties that we are dealing with in this committee are properties that have been, that went through an interim process prior to 2014. Because the city had not had an interim process since that time. That's the reason why there have been so many challenges with trying to get through the process itself, right? And made it much more complicated to finally even get to this point, to get these, unlike the properties that we now are dealing with that just went through the tax lien process, which have started, we've started the interim process on those that did not sell in tax lien, right? But that also, that interim process takes a long time, anywhere from, it can take anywhere from
About 2
9
years.
months to 2 years.
So just a quick description of what happens, right? We initially, back in 2014, we do, what's called an MREM foreclosure, which is different than a mortgage foreclosure. It's for taxes, right? And we did it in bulk. And so when we do that, it's a 2-year process to go through. And as you're doing that, there's strict compliance to service of all the parties and all these things. And you make your best efforts. And invariably, sometimes some of those you don't have good title to. And those are some of the issues that we had to try to navigate as best we can to get to this point. And so that's some of the issue that goes on here.
And we have done our due diligence to make sure that we have as much as clear as best as possible, clear title as possible, which is why we also made sure, and I'm going to emphasize again to everybody in phase 1, that again, we went through the process, accepted the bids with the understanding that 1, the property is as is, 2, that if there are any title issues, you're going to have to kind of work through them. Because at this point, right, we've done our due diligence on it.
With the process that was.
So we just want to make sure that that is clear. And that's going to be the same for anything else.
So it has to go back to the.
Yeah, that's the issue. Okay. All right. So, 141 West 3rd Street.
I think that was the vacant lot.
Yes, that was
And-
vacant.
yes, and I
That's
think-
abutting somebody else's property.
I
The
think
Crenshaws.
she wants to, we got an appraisal, but she wants to do it.
So how long do we wait for that?
We shouldn't wait no more than, probably about 30 days.
By the next meeting, that has to be done. If it's not done, then we move on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Because believe me, it's my goal to get all of these back on the text one as soon as possible. 146 South 13.
Oh, okay. That's no.
That was the one, wasn't it? Was that the one that had the discrepancy of the amount? Okay, and so we clarified it. What's the,
So she was the highest bidder at 200,000.
We did that right?
Yeah.
Yes.
okay? Well, so we're gonna move.
Yeah, sure. I move to recommend to the city council to sell the property of 146 South 13th Avenue to Jeanette Garcia at the price of $200,000.
I second it.
It's in probably second, roll call.
Controller Martin,
Aye.
Assessor Vanderpool.
Aye.
Council President Brown.
Aye.
Okay, congratulations, Ms. Garcia. Well, at least on the recommendation.
So now you're gonna go to the council.
Let me make that clear. Make no decision here. All right. All right, so B. We already, is this what why we got 328 South First? Oh, man. Somebody on B, it says 328 South First, so why?
I'm sorry, you have the,
Have the old,
that's the old version, yeah.
I'm like, say that for me.
oh, because there's, okay, no problem. But, okay, 3 Cortland, so now, that's right, the list, I want to make sure my list is right. 3 Cortland Street,
So 320 South First Avenue. That is the property where Mr.
yeah, that's when.
No, we understand.
That's when we
Yeah, we
just did this.
So we already letter for
yes.
305.
Okay.
The bidders want.
It wasn't.
There's a discrepancy there. That's why I want to speak earlier. So we have to address that.
You
So-
received a letter for 305?
The email for 305, I never submitted 305.
You mean the amount was 305 or 305 South First, or you mean the amount?
The
Oh, the
amount.
amount.
Yeah, so what he's saying is that his initial amount that he submitted was 138,000. However, from our records, we saw 305 for his bid, so we recommended to the city council to sell it to him at 305. So what I would like to do, if possible, is to have an executive session to go over.
Yeah, because now we have to go over
Legal
those, we have to
counsel.
go over those, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
Executive session for those,
yeah.
for those two.
Yeah, yeah. Okay,
But I guess you can finish the 3 Cortland, the other ones, the B.
So that's a separate group. That's
okay. All right, so 3 Cortland, 111 East Third Street, 529 East Third Street, and 52 Mesro.
were decided by the committee to go to auction.
But we have a larger list of auction properties.
Yes,
This is
we-
phase one. This is phase.
Well, we're gonna, yes, this is what we decided was going to go to auction. We need to have a discussion about basically an auction date. Right, and then also, I have my office, pulling together, going through the list of all of our properties, to see which properties I would recommend that we also include in this first phase of auction that are not on this list. Because there's a list of other properties, right? That are also a good portion of them are lots that just were not a part of this. Because we were dealing with that had actual facilities or buildings on them, something on them first, before we dealt with the lots. Now, there was some question earlier about some properties that are in the downtown area. If anything is in the downtown area, South Fourth Street, South Fourth Avenue, East Third Street, between Fifth and Third, all of those properties are off right now, are not available in this process. Those have been put aside for the city, as the city is doing a plan for downtown. So anything that is on South Fourth
And Third.
and South Third, and it may be in the Third Street corridor between Fifth and Second, are those things that right now being held in abeyance for other downtown revitalization. All right. So, yeah, so these properties are the properties that we said we were going to then list as going out to bid, right?
Yeah, we are.
Going out to auctions, I mean, yeah, going out to auction, okay. And so, next phase is to talk about an actual auction, the next process for the auction, in preparation for the auction. Right, which is one, getting the properties there, because there's a difference in this process than in the bidding process. In the bidding process, you know, we have folks, we give you a list, you bid on the property as it is. There is no visitation to properties in that process. In the auction process, it has varied over years. So we have to determine how we want to do that. One, we do have to come up with a list, right? For you. We have to also publicize in the paper that we are having a public auction and what the date and the times are, right? On that. I have to defer to you because I'm not sure if we have to or if it's optional for us. I don't know if in the past they've actually made provision for folks to be able to see the property, or if they just had them, or they were able to go see it externally. I don't know.
That's a more main question. I don't know what they did.
Yeah. Yeah, because I see it in two different.
Standpoint, I mean, if that illegal, you could choose.
Yeah.
There's it's been for some years, right? And we've been actively daily in public auctions in my place, just, you know. The process is sight on scene. You have to come up with your own assumption. It would turn into a liability.
That's true.
Yeah, no, I figured that much, but I at least needed to ask. And I'm sorry, I needed to ask because I know that question is going to get asked.
There was one time with, specifically with the property, Shabazz property, there was a time that property was open to the public to be viewed prior to.
Yeah, that was a special bidding process for it. So, yeah. All right, so the next process for it is for us to then have the discussion about a time frame for the auction. And I guess that really does hinge upon my office's ability to have those properties ready, right?
That's right, sir.
Ideally, I would like to get it done this year, but I don't know if that's going to be feasible.
Tomorrow's November.
Yeah, March, November, exactly. So I do have them all working on property files, you know, on them, because as the assessor will tell you, I have my staff person contacting her office, because I have a list of properties, but then I also have a file of properties, you know, and it doesn't necessarily match as to what was sold when it was sold. So I've been going through to make sure that everything that we have on our active list, right, has not been either one turned back to an owner or sold, right? And making sure that there's nothing in the files that is there that actually we no longer own, where we are still own, but our list doesn't have it on it. But we've been reconciling that list. So I'm going to check with the staff, but I think that should be able to be done in the next 2 weeks or so. Right. So by the time our next meeting, I think that I'll have a clearer understanding of where we are. And then maybe at our next meeting, we can set a date for the auction. I'm thinking that might be reasonable. Okay. All right. If that's not it, if there's nothing else other than executive session to talk about this 328 down first. Is there a motion to go into executive session?
I'm going to go into executive session to discuss negotiations, offer and receive legal advice from legal counsel.
I second it.
Probably the second. Roll call.
Controller Moran,
Aye.
Assessor Vanderpool. City Council President Proud.
Aye.
It is 10:33.